afternoon and welcome to our cider orchard. This is the second video that I'm doing today. The first video was on the changes in the trees since the last videos that I did, and this one I was just going to do something that I meant to do last time, which was discuss some of the training that I've been doing to the trees over the past couple of years, and what I'm intending on doing with the trees in the coming years. So this orchard's a little bit more complicated than probably I would have hoped, in that the trees all came from different places. I bought some from nurseries after they'd spent a couple of years growing at the nursery, and it came to me as probably 3-year-old trees, I would guess. Other ones I grafted myself from rootstock, so I was able to watch them develop and do what I wanted with them from the very beginning, train them the way I wanted to train them, or I was intending on training them. The trees have all reacted a little differently to each other, probably due to variety, but also due to natural variation between trees. So I'll just discuss some of the better examples of the training that I was intending on doing. So I was doing a lot of reading about which is the best way to train fruit trees, whether it's central leader or goblet shaped, or any of the other myriad of different training structures that you can get a tree growing in. I was intending on doing most of mine central leader, mainly because it seems a little bit more easy to work out which branches you want and which you don't. But that's been complicated, as I say, by some of the way the trees have grown. So the best example of a central leader tree that I had growing was probably the King David, which got nibbled by the wallaby. So unfortunately that's not as good an example now, but the other American variety, these two trees here are what I would expect, they're about what I expect of what I'm supposed to be doing for a central leader tree, in that it's intended to be a sort of like a Christmas tree shape. So you can see this one just in front of me, where it's got the very strong apically dominant central leader, and it's got a set of laterals coming out on the way down, and as hopefully next year, in the next growing season, there'll be a second lot of laterals coming out of the tree, probably about here, as the top grows further up. That is Stamen's wine sap. So that's behaved itself. So did the King David, and so does this one over here, which I think is the Cornish aromatic. Yep. So similarly, it's got a very strong central leader. Well, it's got a very obvious central leader here coming up, and a whole bunch of laterals that are coming off the trunk here. As they get a bit of fruit on them, hopefully they'll be weighed down and it'll be a bit more of a good Christmas tree shape in later years. You can see I've tried to. There was some of them. I've been looking at limb spreaders. I'm just trying wooden clothes pegs. Can you see that? Wooden clothes pegs. I've pegged them onto the trunk, and the tail. You can see it comes off like that. I've pegged it onto the trunk there, and then tried to wedge the other end of the peg down on the lateral. I'm not sure how it's working. I'm just having a playing around a little bit. There was a few trees that I felt could have done with a bit of limb spreading to get the laterals down into a closer to 90 degrees. It looks as if some of the pegs, now that the tree has grown a little bit since I put these in a few months ago, it looks like I don't want the pegs to gird the trunk, so I might have to take them off. But it seems like they've done a little bit of the job that they were intended to do, because the crotches seem to be staying a little bit flatter. Some of the other, so I've treated most of these trees about the same. When I put them out here, I trimmed the, it's a probably fairly good example actually. So you can see down there, just above the, or just below the name tag, is the top of the original graft material. You can just see the stub of that, and that's where the original terminal bud grew vertically, and where the tree came off. Just below there, above the milk carton tree guard, is where the graft union is. So there's, we had one year's worth of growth up to here, roughly. Oh, where's my hand? There. And then that was, I chopped that out, and we kept this this bud. Where's my hand again? Sorry. Here, and then it's grown up here to last year, and then I chopped that again. Tipped it again about 9 months ago, and then it's grown up to the tip there. So there's 3 years worth of growth there, and that's basically what I did to most of the trees. Some of them I didn't cut them out as strongly as I did this one. Or sorry, I didn't tip them, all of them, or prune them as much as I did this one. This one's probably benefited, but this one was a fairly easy decision to begin with, because it was growing properly last year. Let's come over here to the Kingston Black. You can see, where are we looking? Okay, so you got the graft union down there, just here. That's probably, that's about where the original terminal bud came off the grafting material, and it grew up, must have grown up to there, and it's probably about right. It grew up to there in the first season. That's been tipped, and we've had a growth outwards. Now, unlike the other one, it didn't sort out its apical dominance after the first tipping, so it's sort of come up. We had this side that I'll probably keep. Basically, this is roughly the structure that I wound up with last winter, and I came through here. I didn't quite know which one to prune, which one I wanted to keep. It wasn't clear whether, I was thinking that the left side might have been a better one to keep. Yeah. Now that we've got this strong central leader, or this strong leader here, I might chop out the rest and make this the central leader. And we've also got some laterals developing here, as they did this season. So it's probably going to be a bit more of an easy decision come winter to do a bit more pruning on that. It was the same with this Golden Harvey over here, in that we've got the original top of the grafting material, the graft unions down there in the tree guard. It's grown up to here in one season. It's been tipped. Now it exploded out into three leaders that I didn't chop any particular one out in winter. Not knowing which particular one would have been better or worse. Now that it's developed a little bit, we've got some laterals here. I was trying to put some spreaders in here to lower them. That one hasn't worked very well. So in winter I'll probably do another video when I'm actually doing this, but I'll probably chop out both of these side and just keep this this as a central leader this year. So there's been a little bit of, as I say, it's interesting to see how the plants react. They all got pretty much the same treatment. They grew at slightly different rates. But then what actually happened to them after the pruning differed quite markedly. Some really behaved themselves, like the Cornish aromatic and the Stayman's winesap and the King David, where they pushed out nicely where I was intending them to. Others just grew straight. Actually, that's probably a decent, another one to look at. This is the Somerset Red Streak. So the original grafting material would have been stopped just there. It's grown up to here. It's grown up just here. It's been tipped, and then instead of bushing out like I intended it to, like the other ones did, this went straight up to even up here. So it just, rather than, it developed no laterals after the original, after it was headed, it didn't develop any laterals, which was a bit of a pain because now there's not enough laterals down low. I'm just hoping that it actually does develop them in later years. It's a bit of this one's been a bit of a pain. The other Somerset Red Streak, which is the second, the other double that I've got, did develop laterals a little bit better than the other one, but still not nearly as extensive. Didn't develop nearly as many laterals as something like the Stayman's winesap. So there's a bit of, as I say, they're all reacting and growing at different rates and in different ways because they're all different varieties, and also there's a variation from tree to tree. So I'm not sure whether that's any help to anybody, but it's just I'll keep doing these videos as these trees develop, and you can see how they react to pruning, and I'm sure people will find it interesting. Whether it's useful or not, yeah, we'll find out, I suppose. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Bye.